Man, I'm getting to be such a fat load of shit. Look at that. Oh my God. Looks like I'm pregnant with twins. I don't know which is worse, getting fat or actually the thought of having twins. Oh, Jesus. I fucking hate myself. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. As always, I want to say thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, jerking off to pictures of the Golden Girls, all that good stuff. I want to say thank you. Or if you're listening on Anchor.fm, Google Podcasts, or wherever the better podcasts are streamed. They might also include mine just as a kind of like a pity fuck. You know, just, okay, we know you're trying. We know you're not the best. You have bad lighting. You have a horrible face. Your audio sucks, but we're going to put you on because we feel sorry for you. I don't mind that. I'm actually pretty good with that. But I want to say, as always, thank you at the beginning. If you don't know, if this is your first time here, if you're a brand newbie, I am living in Cambodia. And this is the first day of what they call Kamae New Year. For those of you not familiar, Kamae is the name generally given to the people, the language, the food, and everything here. They consider themselves less Cambodian and more Kamae because of the Kamae Empire from thousands and thousands of years ago. They're all part of that lineage. Okay, so this is April, but this is the Kamae New Year, and they celebrate. Let's see if you can see behind me. Can you? Let me go over this way. Yeah, right back there. If you can see on our little sink area is a little shrine-like thing. That's Sang Lai. Say hello. That she set up. What they like to do is set up a little shrine for their deceased relatives and loved ones, and they give them offerings for the afterlife until they can be reincarnated in their next life, because it's a Buddhist country, and that's what they believe. So back there we have some, you got to give them an offering of food. We got a little dish with some of our meal from earlier, because apparently dead people like to eat. Some water. We have some fruits. We have some incense. Always got to be incense. And we have some flowers. And unfortunately a glass of beer, which I have been told by Sang Lai that I am not allowed to drink, because that is for the dead people. Hey, it's no more silly than any other religion you heard of. It's just more disappointing because, even in some religions, like during communion, you can have a little wine. But here it's like, no, that's for the people in heaven. Fun fact here, they also have a bunch of fake money you can buy, like stacks and stacks of $100 bills, but they're all fake, of course. And what you do is you burn them. And as you burn them, apparently, I think what happens is that the essence of the money goes up into the afterlife, so your deceased loved ones can have currency. Apparently, in this religion, their God is very, very greedy. They charge a lot of money for things, and if you don't leave a bowl of food out for the ants to get, so that they can spiritually have it, I guess, then, they're going to starve to death again, which will prolong their reincarnation process. That's what I gather from all that. I'm not sure. But anyway, happy Kamae New Year. Used to be a big celebration here. They love the water fights during Kamae New Year. Go online and look up Kamae New Year from 2016, 2017, 2018. It was all good. It's a lot of fun. You go out, everybody's got a water gun, everybody's got a hose, everybody's got even just a bucket, a big bucket of water, and then a smaller bucket. And if you go out, you should prepare yourself to just be soaked. People don't care. It's like a cleansing ceremony. They're cleansing you from the sins of the past year. And if they know me, there's no amount of water that can ever clear that. But that's what they do. And they'll throw talcum powder or baby powder around to signify a new beginning. It's all supposed to be based in some kind of spiritual thing, but it's basically an excuse to have a big party throughout the country. And I've always had a lot of fun. My first 2 years here, I participated. It was great fun. As soon as you go outside, you get soaked. You just get soaked with water. And your best bet is to fight fire with fire, or in this case, water with water. Buy yourself a super pumper fucking water gun or whatever, and fight back. They enjoy it. Everybody has a good time. But of course, the last couple of years, including this one, because of the Rona, none of that has been allowed to take place. We're in a lockdown situation between traveling to different cities in Cambodia, and we're currently under curfew until the 25th of the month from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. You're not allowed to gather in places, go to restaurants, bars. You have to be home behind closed doors, or you're going to be in trouble, mister, and you don't want to be in trouble. So it's kind of a shame. Last 2 years have been kind of a bummer, but we're hoping for a recovery of sorts coming soon. But what I want to talk about right now is, believe it or not, athletes. I am not an athletic person. I don't do the sports thingies. I've never been good at anything I've tried that was athletic. I run average. I play basketball like a typical short weight dude, which means poorly. I tried baseball, little league, when I was a kid for a little while, and realized I was mediocre at best and god awful at worst. I remember I was on the basketball team in my junior high school. Excuse me, the Rona got me there. But I was a bench warmer. Like, the coach kept me on the bench, man. They took sports seriously back then. Like, it wasn't like it is now where, you're going to go in. It doesn't matter if you suck, if we lose. Just go in. Everybody's watching. The crowd's watching. Your parents are here. We just want them to be proud. No, back then it was like, no, you suck. You're going to sit on the bench. That's all you're going to do. You're going to sit there in your little tiny shorts and your sleeveless tank top with your number on there and support the team. But I remember one time specifically, my parents were there and they were watching, and I actually got a chance to go in due to an injury from one of the other kids. I can't believe my coach put me in. And I was nervous. I was scared. I'm in front of all these people. My parents are watching. Oh, my God. And but somebody threw the ball to me. I haphazardly just shot it toward the basket. And the fucking thing went in. And people started cheering. That might have been my first inkling that, oh, my God, people will like you if you do something good. People will like you. Finally, acceptance from strangers, which is what every comedian ever wants. That's all you want. People were cheering. And I knew my parents were there going, oh, God, thank you. You did not shame the family name. That was awesome. We go back down the court, and then we come back, and somebody threw it to me again. And again, I just thought, why are you giving this to me? Always leave on a high note. Important lesson, kids. But anyway, they gave it to me again, and I again haphazardly shot it, and it fell short by about 3 fucking feet. It didn't even come close to the basket. The other team got it, did a long throw down there, and some other guy from the other team got the point. And the disappointment was palpable from my parents, from the crowd. All of a sudden, man, I went from being the hero to being the GOAT. Not the greatest of all time, but I mean like an actual GOAT, like in the Charlie Brown comic books. It was horrible. And the coach immediately said, "You, Dave, get the fuck out of there. What are you thinking? What was that? You go to practice, don't you?" And I was like, "Haven't you noticed?" And no. And he was like, just sit the fuck down, shut up. Try not to get your jock strap wrapped around your balls or, whatever. But lately, when we think about sports and athletics, we think about people who are involved in sports such as basketball, baseball, soccer, football, hockey. I love watching ice hockey. And we think of, because I'm white, of course I do. But we think about these things because those are athletes. They keep their bodies tuned, they're working out, they're practicing all the time, they're honing their skills. But lately there's been brands of people who are trying to claim that this thing should be considered an athletic event, and these people should be considered athletes. And I'm thinking, no, if there's something I can do with just a little practice without even having to get in shape, that is not a fucking sport. You are not a fucking athlete. Let's stop that nonsense. Like poker players. I read an interview with a poker player, and I love poker. I played poker. I made money playing poker for about 3 months back in the day. That's how I made all my income. Story for another time. But athletes, no, these are the most warped, out of shape, twisted-minded people you'll ever want to meet in your life. But the guy was saying, listen, it's not you have to train to be a professional poker player because you have to train your body to be able to sit down for hours at a time and not get restless. It's a mental athletic. I'm like, oh, bullshit. It's not. That's simply about willpower. I've never at any time in my entire life thought, I'm going to have to sit down in this semi-comfortable chair for 6 hours. And I'm really not okay with that because I'd rather be doing something like exercising. I've never thought that. Judging by the shape of my body, you get that, right? You understand. Those words have never been uttered out of my mouth. So poker players now, they want to be known as, athletes. I used to watch the Olympics a lot, and I liked the Winter Olympics because it gave me a new perspective on different things. Curling. If you haven't seen curling, look up curling. 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 It's a sport, and in some countries it's really big, and they do it all year round in some countries. I was watching it one day during the last Winter Olympics I watched, and I was like, oh my God, I could do that. Like, seriously, I could. There were some people in these uniforms, because they're all sponsored and shit. And I'm like, there were some people not in great shape. I saw little tum-tums. I saw the little flab peeking through that tight T-shirt they make them wear. And they got guys with brooms. People with brooms sweeping the side of the puck. They can't touch the little puck-like thing or whatever you call it. It's basically shuffleboard on ice. That's all it is. Except you get help from the guys with the brooms or the people with the brooms. I don't mean to keep saying guys. I know girls play too. All right. Don't get offended. Love your boobs in them tight shirts. But still, they just sweep with these brooms to sometimes speed up or lower the speed of this little disc that they have so they can go in the center of the circle and get as close to the tiny circle right in the center that they can get. Listen, I don't even know the rules. I don't know what the goal is, but I know I can fucking do it. Because I'm looking at it going, I could take a stick and push this little thing. I could grab a broom, and they're not on skates or anything. They're in shoes, regular shoes on this ice. But that's just a matter of balance and just sweeping the thing along, trying to get your team to come the closest to that center circle. I think I could do it. And I know this is going to offend a lot of people like anybody watches this. But if anybody gets word of this, there's probably going to be people in some countries that'll be offended that I'm saying that's not a sport. Come on, we have shuffleboard back in the United States. 90-year-old retirees and nursing homes play that shit all day. They get grumpy with each other, but nobody wants to fight because one wrong tumble and it's death for everybody there. Yeah, that's not a sport. Poker's not a sport. And by God, I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart. Competitive eating is not only stupid, it is not a fucking sport. You're not an athlete. You're kind of an asshole. Considering the poverty going on in the world, considering how many people have to go to bed hungry every night, considering how many people die of starvation every year, and you want to say you want to be an athlete because you sit there and shove 50 fucking hot dogs down your throat in the matter of a half hour, not because you're hungry or because you need it to live, but because it's a competition. Beep, boop, beep, boop. Let the birds fly. Yeah. Not a sport. You're not an athlete. Yeah, that means all. Those people. No, not you. Those people. All. And you're not a. No. I'm talking about people. You're not an athlete. It's not a sport. You're just shoving food into your fucking mouth hole to win like a trophy and a prize and maybe some fat groupies on the side who are amazed that you can eat as much as their 600-pound wife or whatever other dreck is playing on TLC channel. Competitive eating also has its own lingo, and it doesn't need a lingo. They call themselves eaters. Oh, I'm a professional eater. You're a professional eater. My God, do you know how egotistical that fucking sounds? Professional eater. Hey, we're all fucking eaters. Everybody's got to eat, except for people that don't have food, because you're wasting it when you're not hungry. After you're full, just keep shoving it in. Hey, so you can get a free meal and a fucking T-shirt that says, I'm a selfish prick, or whatever the fuck it says. I don't know. Seriously, if that's how you make your living, I really don't have any respect for you. Good for you. You're making money doing something you obviously love, but don't call yourself an athlete, and don't consider yourself in a sport. Not every competition has to be a sport. If I'm having a staring contest with a 6-year-old kid, I don't consider myself an athlete. And I don't tell people I'm about to participate in this sporting event called the long stare. And I have trained myself over years to keep my eyes open the longest. Because that would be stupid. People would make fun of me. And they would have every fucking right to. But anyway, I got a little off track there. But these things are not sports. Those people are not athletes. Let's save that term for what it is. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And be sure to check out all my links down below. I have a PayPal if you want to support an old dying man. Not really dying. Well, we're all dying. You never know. And you'll feel bad if you didn't someday, maybe. Also, my Twitter link is down below. Follow me for more of the semi-funny, drunken, late-night tweet action. Live show app is down below. It's a great place to find comedians that you will love. They're very, very awesome. Support them 100%. It's absolutely free. Doesn't cost you a thing to listen or even participate if you're a comedian yourself. Get your sets in. Download them afterwards. Share them around the world. Also down below is a link to my main channel, Dave Does Cambodia, where I talk about my life here in a much more serious, non-offensive, no cussing zone kind of way. All right. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Don't eat your boogers unless you put salt on them first. They're better that way.